Welcome back to the next episode of Eakin and Real. I'm here with a special guest, podcast person, Killeen Eakin, filling in for the People's Champ. And we have Kevin from the Killeen Herald News, right?
Killeen Daily Herald, KDH News.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about what it is you do for that company.
Most of what I do has to do with local government. So covering city politics is my main beat. That means that I go to every single city hall meeting. I also go to like planning and zoning commission meetings as well to see what's coming down the line in terms of like construction and that sort of thing. And you know, it's been exciting. It's been fun. It's way less boring than it sounds because there's a lot of craziness that sometimes goes down. You know?
What kind of craziness do you mean? If you have to be specific.
I've seen people get arrested at city council meetings, like dragged out of there. People yelling, cursing, screaming at the mayor and the council. The mayor yelling, screaming at people in the audience. You know, no, but seriously, it's really important work. I think it's important for people to know what's going on with their local government because, you know, they spend taxpayer money, so it's good to see what they're doing with it and if they're using it appropriately.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what would you say is going on right now that we need to know about?
Well, some interesting things that are going on, and this is just off the top of my head, but so there is a zoning case going for the city council meeting that would open a prohibition-style bar. It's actually like a speakeasy style in downtown Killeen.
Oh, right.
And that's kind of interesting because, you know, it's a new business in downtown. If you're not aware, the city council and the city government is very, very interested in revitalizing the downtown in Killeen. And, you know, they recently won like a Main Street designation, which is a pretty big deal for them. So, you know, and, you know, one of the biggest things that I complain about with Killeen a lot is that there's not that much stuff to do. It would be nice if we had more things like that in the neighborhood, you know what I mean?
I want a fine dining restaurant. I don't want to have to go to Temple or Georgetown or South. I should be able to do that here in Killeen.
Interestingly enough, there was a survey recently done by a City of Killeen contractor, and one of the things that I believe it was like 4 from the top was like a restaurant with like a full menu and stuff. So I think that might be what you're looking for. So, I mean, in any case, you don't seem to be alone in that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I heard someone, in fact, one of my coworkers here, he used to have a restaurant, and they said that, you know, in Killeen, the success rate of these fine dining restaurants is pretty low. And I just didn't understand that because there's a lot of people that I know drive from here to these places to go to eat a nice steak, something that you can get that's nicer quality than like outside steakhouses. Would you consider the mayor and the political, you know, is it blue, is it red?
So it is actually supposed to be nonpartisan. Mm-hmm. So in other words, like, you know how like when you look at certain congressmen and stuff, there's like a little deer, big deer, big R next to name indicating their party. That doesn't exist, and the Killeen City Council, they're supposed to be nonpartisan. That's what I mean. And you know, I feel like local government is a little bit different than like national or even state politics in that your party affiliation doesn't really matter as much. You know, and even if there's a party of some people that you don't necessarily agree with, like if they're doing a good job, they know what they're doing. If they're competent, that's actually more important than whether they're a Democrat or a Republican.
I agree with that. You know, at the end of the day, I just want to see results. Make sure that, make sure that everything's fair and everything's square, right? Well, I'd like to go back to, you know, people getting arrested at the city council meetings. Could you give me an idea of like what that meeting was even about?
I believe, if I remember correctly, it was about changing the meeting time from 5 p.m. to 3 p.m. Now,
that makes someone that bad?
Well, okay. Here's the thing. It's not just about one issue ever. Like it's always about like multiple things. To be fair, moving like a meeting time from 5 p.m. to 3 p.m. and it's not just one meeting. It's like all the meetings now is kind of like a problem because like people that have work, people that like obligations and stuff. Normally they won't be able to make a 3 p.m. meeting, so it makes it hard for people to know what's going on. Now, if it was still at 5, it wouldn't solve every problem, but people could go a little bit late and kind of see what's going on and then have an idea what's going on in their local government.
Well, how long does one of these city council meetings generally last?
It varies. It could be like an hour to like 4 hours. Wow. Yeah, it can sometimes get pretty long.
And then after you hear the meeting, you put your opinion of what happened down in the papers?
Not my opinion, no. I just write what happens during the meeting. And I usually have like a voice recorder so that way I can look up what people said just in case like I missed something. Generally speaking, reporting doesn't like adopt opinions. I do have a column, however, which is interesting. It's called Inside City Hall, which kind of goes into like some of the stuff that I don't cover, and that's a little bit more opinionated.
So did you study journalism?
I did. I studied journalism at Brooklyn College. I'm originally from Long Island, and I went to Brooklyn College for school, and then got my degree there. Yeah.
Something that tells me that you might be a chess player.
Huh.
Tell me about that. What are you gonna play chess at?
Okay, so I recently discovered this, and it was a huge deal because I was looking for things to do in Killeen, and it turns out the Whataburger on Wednesday nights after 7 has tons of chess players that just play each other the entire night. And it's great because now I finally have something that I can do. And there's like little kids there, and then there's like more elderly people, and there's people in between. So there's a very good mix of like ages there. So
It's fun. Wow.
yeah.
Surprised you don't have just a chess club here.
Well, technically speaking, that is the chess club.
Oh, okay.
But it feels very informal. You know what I mean? People just come, they eat their burgers, and they play.
That's so awesome. I
Yeah,
guess.
maybe after this it will grow. There'll be more people that join it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it usually the same 12 people that are?
I don't know. I've only gone twice. It's a very recent discovery for me. But it's nice. It gives me something else to focus on other than my job.
So, is there anything interesting you getting ready to come out in the paper this week that we can get a sneak preview of?
Well, it's a little bit early, but I do want to mention to you before we wrap up about the Thanksgiving coverage that I had. Now we have to put out a paper and do news every single day because it doesn't stop just because there's a vacation. And I just really, really wanted to mention that I went to the Friends in Crisis shelter, and I feel like people should really like look into supporting them and their umbrella organization, Families in Crisis, because what I saw there was it was very inspiring. It was a little bit sad, and I just think that in the spirit of the holidays, people should be looking towards helping the less fortunate if they can do it.
I love that.
Hey guys, if you are with a local business or if you have something really cool or exciting and you want to come on the podcast, make sure that you reach out to us in the link. And we'd love to have you on, just like we had our friend Kevin here today. Man, thank you so much for coming in, my friend.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'll be looking for your news article.
Yeah.
Guys, we'll see you next week.